Hey everybody, welcome back to another anime review. Tonight I'm going to be doing a long overdue Patreon request from my good friend Warpbait, a guy that I've known on the internet for a long time now. Thank you so much for your support for all this time, man. I hope him and all of you out there are safe and sound and stuff with everything going on. Hope everybody had, great Thanksgiving and so forth. And I hope that you continue to do well going into the holidays and stuff. But the anime that he did want me to talk about was After School Dice Club. And this was when he first suggested it to me, I was interested. Mostly because I had never heard anything about this at all. It's from 2019, I believe. Yeah, like started like October of 2019. It's about a year old now, and it is pretty much what it sounds like. It is about this group of friends that play games after school and so forth, and like during the summer and stuff, um, and they play like tabletop games. Um, and it's like every episode they're like doing like a different game that's sort of part of the episode, but then there's also kind of the drama of the characters a little bit. A lot of stuff dealing with like sort of like anxiety and social pressure and stuff like that, and the willingness to sort of fit in with a crowd, or maybe a character feels like an inability to do so and stuff like that. I think a lot of like realistic emotions that I kind of wasn't really like expecting with this. That for the most part, I thought the show did a pretty good job. Um, Now, is this series the most entertaining thing out there? I don't think so. It is sort of what it is. If you're, I'm not a person that plays a lot of tabletop games. Haven't really like tried all that many, so I can't. I'm not gonna sit here and say I don't like them, but they don't really interest me all that much. I am much more of like a like trading card game or video game kind of dude. But I don't like knock the fandom or anything. But this, I don't know, it just didn't seem. I would say like it's an anime about this group of girls playing like board games, tabletop games, and the tabletop games were kind of the dullest part in my opinion. Not that the other parts were super duper entertaining, but I guess like the best part I guess I would promote for this are some of the characters. Now, I say some. It's just that like I just happen to like some more than others. We had our main character Miki, is the girl with the blue hair there. Um, she's interesting. Has especially at the beginning of the series, like a problem like fitting in, and it's sort of like a recurring sort of anxiety issue that she does have. And a lot of the show is her sort of opening up and finally finding this group of people to belong with. And within that group is this other girl named Aya. Aya, like loud, like a little like louder than Miki, but they deal with like sort of like some similar issues and stuff like that. And like Aya quickly becomes sort of like the closest friend of Miki and enjoys times playing these games with one another. I think my favorite. Well, no. I guess I have like two favorite characters. My favorite of like this main group is Midori, who is the girl with the glasses, who's sort of like almost seems like the class like is like the class president type girl, who you would not think is into games like this, uh, and turns out she does like them and does spend a whole lot of time with the main characters. Really becomes the main character herself, and actually has an interesting goal, and she tries to like sort of develop throughout the series. I don't want to really like spoil it, but I liked her a lot. I liked her sort of development. There's this Amelia, this the blonde like German girl that comes in like later on. She was okay. My favorite character I gotta make sure I pronounce her name right. I think it's Kyoko. Is this girl that I don't want to spoil too much, but she does play a role, sort of like the middle episodes of the series, um, and is sort of this like badass girl, reminding me a lot of Yang from like Ruby, because she's this blonde girl who rides a motorcycle and everything. Um, but you learn that there's a lot more to her personality, and that's, I think, the best part about the show is the characters aren't the most unique things in the world. They're a little more than meets the eye at times. Now, animation wise, it's not really amazing. This is Studio Leiden Films, who I uh, um, hadn't really heard much of before. Everything kind of has like a glossy sheen to it. It looks kind of odd, but it's okay. I'm not really big on any of like the character designs in particular. Besides, like, I guess Kyoko. Oh, there's the guy Takeru is pretty funny. He's like the only male character in the show. Well, there's like two male characters in the show, I believe, and he's the guy with like the apron kind of thing, and he's kind of scary looking, and it's sort of the joke that he's like scary looking, but like a pretty friendly person, I would say. Um, uh, but not really into like the characters like designs or like the art style of this show. It wasn't really appealing to me. It's not beautiful looking, but I guess not everything's going to be the most beautiful anime out there. Music wise, it's kind of boring. Wasn't really into the OP all that much. Voice acting was good. I watched this in the dub. That was pretty awesome. Alexis Tipton, one of my favorite voice actresses, plays Miki. Did an awesome job, I think. And you can actually watch the entire dub on YouTube if you know where to look at time of this recording. And if you, I'll let you watch it where you want to watch it. But I'm just saying they're all there. And so that's kind of cool. If you want to just watch the entire series in English, you can. It's pretty short. It's only 12 episodes. Fairly entertaining. You know, it's a lot of it is a lot of like detraction for me. I'm not really into these kind of games. They do like a different sort of game each time though, so it is sort of like refreshing. But because of that, I don't really get like too attached to any of them. Versus something like March Comes In Like a Lion, which I know is probably absurd to sort of compare this to. I don't think it's really trying to be March Comes In Like a Lion, where it's largely about this like particular game, and it's like the character's like attachment to that particular game. This is sort of like it is really it's for fun and building friendship. This anime is very much about building friendships and growing within that circle of friends and trying to become the person that you sort of like want to be. And I think that's cool. I think that's a pretty good message to have. It's just not necessarily the most entertaining thing in the world all the time. But yeah, I think this one is definitely I would say at least check it out. Like maybe give it a stream, watch a couple episodes. It does have, I think, an ongoing manga that has like 17 volumes. Not really sure how they're really stretching 17 volumes out of this. But I think that the anime, concludes on like an okay note, I suppose. I was happy with where it was. Again, presentation wise was kind of lacking for me. Wasn't really into like there's just some characters that I tend to like more than others. Maybe if I had more episodes, you could flesh out like the rest of the characters a little more. But I think it did a good job for what it is. It is a very mediocre anime in my opinion. But if you are someone that is very much into tabletop games, or you know someone that also likes anime, I could see how this would definitely be right up their alley. And I might be wrong here, but I think that my good friend Wartbait is a fan of these types of games. And I could sort of see like that camaraderie and stuff like that, and it's cool to see that in an anime. Like I don't know, there's anime like I wish that we could have an ice hockey anime because I love watching ice hockey. Haven't seen it yet. If that happened, I would probably be like fully on board for that. I think it's good to have unique anime out there. I just kind of wish that a little more went into the production of this, and like it just wasn't kind of mediocre and sort of basic, if that makes sense. But what did you guys think of After School Dice Club? Please let me know down below. Thank you to Warpbait for always supporting the channel. Thank you to everybody that has helped me out on Patreon over time. You guys are beyond good to me. If you like what I'm doing here, please consider at least hitting that subscribe button. The channel's been growing a lot lately. Thank you so much for that. I would really, really appreciate it if you just subscribe to me at least. And if you want to go even a step further, maybe consider joining the Patreon as well. You could recommend me stuff to read and watch and make videos on in the future and stuff like that. And but yeah, at the very least, thank you so much for watching. My name is Miasma, and I'll see you next time.